Welcome back to the Against All Odds, the Less Than 1% Chance podcast with your host, Maria Ponte, where we will hear stories of incredible people thriving against all odds. And my hope is that we can all see how life is always happening for us, even when we are the less than 1% chance. Hey, welcome back to Against All Odds, the Less Than 1% Chance podcast with your host, Maria Aponte. I am so excited to have you guys come back for yet another amazing interview. I am going to introduce our guest today. Her name is Karolina. She is a burnout recovery strategist who helps exhausted working mothers reconnect with their intuition and practice guilt-free self-care. Don't we all need that? Drawing from 20 plus years supporting vulnerable adults and surviving 2 burnouts herself, she distills complex well-being concepts into practical, accessible strategies. As a self-described magpie in the psychology world, Karolina collects, tests, and simplifies evidence-based techniques, empowering women to prioritize their well-being through holistic, back to basics approach to honor their unique needs and values. This is what we all need. So I am so excited to welcome Karolina to Against All Odds. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
I am so excited. So give me a little bit of background. How did you get into this work? What brought you to this?
Yeah, thank you. So like you said, I have over 20 years experience working with adults, disadvantaged groups. And I was mental health specialist for a very long time. So I thought that I have everything under control and I know how to look after myself. I was great at giving advice to other people. Yeah. And then one day I couldn't get up. My body was really, really heavy. I really struggled to get up. I dragged myself. I started the day. I started to work. And not long after starting my work, I realized that my cheeks are wet. I was crying, but I was so disconnected with myself that I didn't know that I was crying.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a moment when I thought, right, okay, I don't think I can serve anyone in that state today. I need to do something. So I contacted my doctor. I was signed off with stress and burnout. And yeah, that was a shock because I was mental health practitioner, so I should know better. And B, well, I was almost proud of wearing this exhaustion like a badge of honor because that's what I was taught. You have to be there for other people all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cut the long story short, I was signed off and I started recovering. However, my perfectionism kicked in and I wanted to recover quick and easy.
Yeah.
But that backfired because the more I was doing, the worse I felt. So that was a moment when I decided to go back to basics. And when I say basics, like really basics, I started treating myself almost like my daughter, 5-year-old daughter at that time. I had to learn how to be compassionate towards myself, like I was towards other people. And I had to reconnect with myself. And that's how it started. The moment I healed, the moment I recovered from my burnout, I understood that this is not the path I want to follow.
Yeah.
And I want to share it with other moms, with other women, because I feel like we are all in the same basket. We are there for everyone else. We completely dismiss our own needs. And something bad needs to happen for us to realize that, oh, I cannot carry on like that anymore.
Oh my gosh, you're literally preaching to the choir right now. I feel that so much to the core. I feel like as women, we're so nurturing whether we're mothers or not,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we take care of all the things.
Yeah.
And I feel that when I was about 10 years ago, I was single mom of three kids. My oldest at the time was 11 or 12,
Mm-hmm.
and she had just been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. It was very difficult
Yeah.
with her mental health, and then also taking care of two younger kids. And then I found out I had cancer. And so it
Oh
was
God.
that moment after going through a bit of the depression of like when you find
Yeah.
out and all of that, right?
Yeah.
I started to shift my thinking, and it had to be okay, Maria, I have to put my oxygen mask on first. I have
Mm-hmm.
to like I have to take care of myself. If not, I will not be here for these kids. And it became okay, so then I need to start getting healthy. I started
Mm-hmm.
working out every day and eating right and taking care of
Yeah.
myself from the inside out,
Yeah.
listening to more personal development books and really getting into the space of self-improvement.
Yes.
And that started to shift everything. And
Mm.
I started to understand I've been through a lot of life threatening, life altering situations in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been to that point of that shift that we have to like, oh yeah, yeah. We have to love life and cherish every moment and be present and all the things. But then
Yeah.
after a while you kind of like let that go and revert
Yeah.
back. And so it's a constant, oh yeah, oxygen mask on first. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have to take care of me before I take care of these because you do burn out. And I had a coach once that would say when there's dis-ease in the body, you create disease. And
Mm-hmm.
I literally feel like that's what happened. There was
Yeah.
so much dis-ease in my body that cancer came knocking on my door again. And so,
Mm.
yeah, I can understand that moment of, oh,
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
take it back to learning how to
Yeah.
take care of myself again.
Gosh. Thank you. That's there is a saying, if you don't make time for wellness, you will need to make time for illness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what I see a lot among women, especially among moms,
Yes.
uh, because we don't use the oxygen masks.
Yeah. I love to travel, and that probably is something that stuck with me because of
Mm-hmm.
that. Every time you're on a plane and they tell you if the oxygen mask comes down, put it on you first before taking
Yeah.
care of those others. And it's such a metaphor for life that, again, if I didn't take the steps that I needed to take care of myself when I
Yeah.
was dealing with my health, then I don't know if I would have been here. And that makes it really, really eye-opening and powerful
Mm-hmm.
when you look back and say, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I definitely was not doing any of that."
Yeah. But when you think about the oxygen masks, up until my burnout, whenever I was hearing oxygen mask first for you and then your child, I was like, how dare you saying that?
I
My child is the most important creature on this planet.
know. Yeah.
She needs oxygen mask first, not me.
Yeah.
But it's just so, so difficult, especially because we are raised in this concept that looking after yourself is a luxurious treat. You
Yeah,
have to
it's
deserve it.
selfish.
It's selfish. You have to prove yourself. You need to work for it. And
Yeah.
then you are praised with a spa voucher or a massage or nails or whatever. So we totally dismiss the all the little things we do every day, which is the self-care.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the other day I was talking to somebody who's doing really big project they're really busy. And I asked, do you look after yourself during this project? Yeah. I'm like, okay, what do you do for yourself? Oh, she wasn't able to answer this question. So she changed the subject, and then she was like, well, what keeps me going is the thought that in 3 months' time, the project will end and I will have some space to breathe. I'm thinking, how are you going to survive till the project ends? It's 3 months. It's a very long time.
Yeah.
And that's what we do as well until Christmas, until
Yeah.
annual leave. There was a time in my life when I was taking annual leave and I was cleaning instead of using annual leave to recharge my batteries because
Yeah.
it's long.
Because we keep putting it off, and then in 3 months, something new comes along, and you're like, oh, wait, let's just wait because this is happening now. To me, it ended up being a daily decision that I had to make to wake up early and before the house was awake, get my workout in, prepare my meals for the day. I would meditate every morning, at least 5-10 minutes, so that I was in a better place, so that then when I woke up my daughter, which the mornings were always the toughest for us,
Yeah.
it was not charged with anxiety.
Yes. Because when you woke up, you prepared yourself.
Yes.
Instead of going into fight or flight mode, which happens very often. We wake up and we're already in fight or flight mode, thinking of this is my to-do list and I have to do this and that. You reset your nervous system and you are ready to start the day from really good place mentally, which is so important. And that paid off with the relationship with your daughter in the morning. Otherwise,
absolutely.
the two of you would wind each other up and you would be fighting and arguing, and the whole day would be a disaster.
Yeah. Which happened often, and prior to me taking those steps, there was times where we used to live in an apartment and she would start throwing things, and the neighbor called the police and they're like, something's happening. And so it was a very anxiety driven charge in the morning that it like, oh, it was so stressful for the rest of the day. And so we let all of that instead of taking a moment. And it really didn't take much for me to be able to reset myself. And then I started becoming a little more strategic because I knew that she had to wake up at 7 in the morning for school. I would go into her room like at 7:15 and say, good morning, in a very good mood. And I would say, do you want to wake up now or do you want another 15 minutes? And it gave her a choice, even though I just turned back the clock a little bit so that she would feel like she had some semblance of control, even though she needed to wake up at 7 anyways.
Yeah, but that changes a lot.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so simple. And what I try to teach my clients is you really don't need anything complicated in your life.
Yeah.
I'm very much about make your life as easy and simple as possible. So when I talk about self-care, I'm not talking about another to-do or another task for your to-do list. I'm talking about you being in a good place, no matter what's happening in your life, because like you said, 5 minutes is enough. But when you do the 5 minutes during the day consciously,
Yes.
it adds up. And by the end of the day, you're not as tired as you were. And you're more eager to spend more time with your family. You're not as resentful towards your husband or partner or whoever is in your life, thinking everything is on my head. They're not helping me. Why aren't they helping me? Well, have you asked?
Yeah.
That's another big thing. We don't ask for help.
Yes. Oh,
I
this
can
is
do it.
no matter where we are, women
Yeah.
are women, and we have this innate way of being because, yeah, what do you mean you can't hear what's in here? I told you in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I specified that in my head. I specified that. So why didn't you do it the way I wanted it to be done? It's not up to my standards. So you know what? Next time I'm going to do it myself because it's quicker and easier.
And it's adding to our to-do list.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
I
it's
love
just a vicious circle. The other day I had a conversation with somebody and I said, we do it to ourselves. We honestly do it to ourselves. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, have you ever talked to your family and shared your responsibilities? Well, I told him to do it. Like, there is a difference between telling somebody to do it and sharing or giving somebody a choice to do something. So what I often do with my clients is I encourage them to write down everything what they do, the responsibilities, and then create another list of what they prepared to let go and delegate to other people. This is a massive thing. A lot of clients cannot let go of things because they're not going to do it up to my standards.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it may not be your standards, but they will do it. And another thing is, how do you know that your standards are the best ones?
Yes.
You don't know.
Absolutely.
You've never given the chance to your husband or your children to actually show their initiative and their standards. And you would be surprised. My husband is better in a lot of things.
Yeah.
That he does in the house.
Absolutely. So why do we often ignore like the simple budget-friendly self-care tricks? And give me some of those that you often recommend.
So I think the big problem is with wellness industry. The wellness industry sells luxurious approach, luxurious activities. Even if you think about a candle, scented candle, you have a choice between £5 or $5 candle and $50 candle.
Yeah.
Which one you would go for? The 51, because it's expensive, so it must be
better.
Must be really good.
Yes.
But if you think about it, the only job of the candle is to burn and smell. And both of them will be doing the same job.
Yes.
But in your head is, I need to buy the more expensive one because that's how it works. Whatever is cheap is not good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same with gear when we think about joining the gym. Oh my gosh. You cannot join the gym in simple leggings and t-shirt. You have to buy specific
We need a whole
gear.
outfit. Yeah, I understand that.
So unfortunately, I can understand people want to have a business, they want to make money. But we caught ourselves in this trap, this thinking trap, that if something is cheap, there is no value in it. So when we talk about self-care and simplicity of self-care and going back to basics, when I say to my clients, having lunch away from the computer or not screening your phone before going to bed, it sounds like ridiculous idea.
Yeah.
It's too simple. to work.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I see that in so many of us. It could be as simple as taking like a minute to do deep breaths, whatever that could
Exactly.
change, and we're like, that's too easy.
Yeah, it's like with meditation. There was a poem when meditation was very fancy word. Mindfulness was very fancy word. And a lot of
Yeah.
people think that it's a woo-woo. When I started thinking about meditation, in my head, I had this lotus position,
Yes.
arming.
Yep.
I tried that.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me. I got really peed off because my mind was going like crazy. I felt stupid. And then I thought, okay, okay. There is a science behind that, that it works. I just need to find my way, how it's going to work.
Yes.
And for me these days, meditation means me going on a walk.
Yeah.
And being in the nature and just looking around. This is mindfulness because all my senses are exposed. And this is the time where I don't take my phone with me. I don't listen to any podcast or anything. No music, nothing, just the birds chirping.
Yeah.
That's mindfulness, that's meditation.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost me anything, but the impact is massive.
Yeah.
If I don't go for a walk in the morning before I start my day, I feel unsettled. There's something missing. Having a cup of tea for 5 minutes, just sit in a garden or in a quiet place where you feel really relaxed and happy in your home and
Yeah.
look at the photos in your photo album,
Yeah.
not your phone.
Yes.
It makes such a difference because then when you look at your photos in your album, your brain is focused on what's here and now, and all the positive hormones are waking up because you're coming back to those moments when the photos were taken, and you start thinking how wonderful time it was, and you feel uplifted,
Yeah.
you feel calmer, you feel happier, and it was just 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make such a difference, and it's something that we often miss. What other hidden gems would we be missing, and is luxury the only way to feel good? Because I think we touched on that, but I think that's where a lot of the times, like you said, it has to be either, it could be an outfit to go to the gym rather than just a t-shirt and pants. So I feel like we overcomplicate it, but I feel like we overcomplicate it so that it makes it hard and then we stop.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it works. I recently worked with a client and she discovered that she's a people pleaser.
Hmm.
She wanted to change it. However, her words, this is going to be hard work. Changing this will be a hard work. So I turned the question and I asked her, isn't people pleasing hard work? Because you're constantly on your toes, trying to think ahead how you can please other people at work, at home,
Yeah.
and you totally dismiss your own needs. So when she started thinking about it, she was like, it is hard work. I don't like it. It is hard work.
Yeah.
And this little mind shift allowed her to look at her behavior from totally different angle. And she's happy now.
Yeah.
And she's not people pleasing.
Yeah.
And
We have to
yeah,
learn how to use or learn how to choose our hard. We could either hard work and do what will serve us best, or hard work and do what will serve others best.
yeah. Well, I personally don't like the phrase hard work because
Yeah.
automatically your brain is thinking, I don't want to do it because it sounds difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's me. But mind shift is really important when you think about self-care.
Yeah, I agree.
When you start understanding that self-care is something more than just spa day or going to the gym,
Yeah.
that it's you setting boundaries, that it's you practicing self-compassion, that it's you using kind language towards yourself, and that it's you sitting with your emotions.
Yeah, which is it's probably
That's uncomfortable.
that's very
That's
uncomfortable.
difficult.
Yes.
But it's also self-care
Yeah.
because self-care is healthy habits and behaviors that can help you keep holistic well-being.
Yeah.
It's not one thing and you forget about the rest.
Yeah,
You look
exactly.
into in a holistic way.
Yeah, it has to be different things that that maybe touch different parts of your life because you're not one dimensional and not one thing will not help
No,
everything. It
no.
definitely has to be something collective. When does striving to be your best self can maybe cross the line between I want to be my best self and then also being your harshest critic?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I'm sure you're familiar with the word perfectionist.
Oh, yeah. I hear that all the time. Oh, I'm a perfectionist.
So this is your enemy number one.
Yeah.
And this is, I've already mentioned your inner dialogue
Mhm.
is also very important. So when I was recovering from my burnout, perfectionism and inner critic were the loudest because, like I said, I wanted to heal as soon as possible
Yeah.
and to the best I could.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was putting so much pressure on myself that I wasn't able to heal
Yeah.
until I understood that me telling myself all the time, I should do this, I should feel that, and constantly asking myself, what am I doing wrong? Wasn't helpful.
Yeah.
I completely dismissed self-compassion and self-kindness in that healing. And that backfired because instead of feeling better, I felt worse.
Yeah.
So the moment I sat down with myself, the moment I allowed myself to actually let go of the pressure of shoulds, to
Yeah.
actually let go, you know what? My meditation doesn't have to be perfect. I
Yeah.
don't have to sit in a lotus position and
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree. I heard once that perfection is the lowest standard you can have for yourself
Mm,
because it's unachievable.
yeah.
And that definitely stuck with me. And I had a friend of mine that always say, stop shooting all over yourself because the shoulds are not going to get you anywhere. And yeah, so that was that I felt all of it you said to my core because I agree so much. So is self-care always supposed to feel good, or is it more than just pleasure and pampering?
Mhm. Well, we've already discovered that it's not going to be always
Yeah.
pleasure. Because if you think about it, this is your inner work, and that's
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Ugh,
It's
it's,
difficult. Sometimes self-care requires you working with a psychologist or a counselor where you unpack your past or you unpack your emotions. Sometimes this is the first time when you actually learn how to name your emotions.
Yeah.
We don't have the language to use to name our emotions. We don't know. We know sad, happy.
Yeah, the
A few
basic
more.
emotions.
But what about the rest?
Yeah.
What about the rest? Yeah, it's uncomfortable. And when you start setting boundaries and you start saying no, this is out of your comfort zone, so it's uncomfortable. When you start saying yes to things which you would never say yes to before,
Yeah.
this is you being outside of your comfort zone. So
Yeah.
again, this is uncomfortable. But when you cross that line and you're on the other side, you can see how powerful it is and how much joy you have
Yeah.
now because of that discomfort.
Yeah. That is very true. I feel even with this most recent shift, I had to come to very uncomfortable realizations that, when what I was already doing was not working anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I had to take away the judgment out of
Yeah.
other ways of doing things and step into that uncomfortable and say, okay, well, maybe this wasn't working and I need something else and I need help with something else. And it became very frustrating. When I was 10 years ago, when I started my health journey, I was 32 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I was overweight, and again, a lot of stress. I was traveling a
Mm-hmm.
lot, single mom of three kids, my daughter with her mental health illness, like
Yeah.
all of the things that were happening.
Yeah.
And I started to work out, eat right, supplements, like all of the good things that
Mm-hmm.
worked. And I ended up losing about 40 pounds. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, great. Now I can maintain it. I had a full hysterectomy. And so I went at 33 years old, I went into full menopause. And that I like it shifted some things. Obviously, there's no like regular estrogen flowing anymore or anything
Yeah.
like that. However, because I had already started this lifestyle, it helped maintain for a very long time, and I was the fittest I was in like my mid 30s. And
Mm-hmm.
then my dad got sick when I was about 38 years old in
Mm-hmm.
2020. And when I then became his caretaker, and my mom was there, but she worked, and so I took him to all of his doctor's appointments and all of his
Mm-hmm.
things and his treatment and everything. My stress level went right up there.
Yeah.
And there was slowly but surely the balance that I had in my hormones that still allowed me to
Mm-hmm.
maintain my weight went chaotic.
Yeah.
And so then I started gaining weight, and I'm like, but I'm doing everything that I've
Mm-hmm.
done. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the moment about a year and a half ago, I started working in an office job where I wasn't at home anymore. I didn't have the flexibility that I had before. And so it then my life became more sedentary. And I still
Mm-hmm.
would work out, I still would eat right, but it wasn't the same. And after my dad passed away, like everything started to calm in terms
Mm-hmm.
of the cortisol, but I was already struggling.
Yeah.
And I then had to give myself like other options. I had
Mm-hmm.
to finally get on hormone replacement therapy, which I was super uncomfortable with at the beginning, or not at the beginning of last year, but when I
Yeah.
first had the hysterectomy, because there was so much misinformation out there and so much fear of, well, if I do that, then I'll maybe get cancer elsewhere.
Yeah.
So many things that were unfounded, but were out there. And so I ended up starting hormone replacement therapy. And so that was one step. But then I still wasn't seeing results that I wanted to see. So I was like, all right, let me talk to a doctor. And I started another step I started GLP-1s. And I'm starting to see a difference again. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I just needed to get out of my head this only way of doing something. And
Yeah.
I added something else to my tool belt. And so I have this like array of tools in my tool belt now of different ways that people could be helped. If you're dealing with one thing, that doesn't mean that it's going to work always.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
it
Yeah.
really it has opened my eyes to that because I had not experienced it, and I feel like and maybe I'm so verbal about everything that I go through that I had to take some time to get inside myself and say, am I okay with adding additional
Yeah.
help that I didn't need before?
Mm.
And it's also giving yourself that permission to have those questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Self-reflection.
Yeah.
Self-reflection is part of self-care. The
Yeah.
more you are aware of what's happening to you, the more you can support yourself and you can help yourself and you can find support out there, like you did with your medication, for example. What's really important is when you think about self-care, it's really important to understand that it's not a set thing.
Hmm.
There's loads of things which is important to take on board.
Yeah.
Your situation can change in a minute, like with your dad,
Yes.
for example. You may just change a job, and that will be one thing that it's enough for your up until now self-care toolbox that is not going to work. What worked for you in the morning may not work for you in the evening because you are in different environment, you are
Yeah.
in different mindset, your body is in different relationship with you because it's more tense, for example. So it's so important to bear that in your mind.
Yeah.
It's the other day I was asked about what is my strategy, how my typical day look like regarding self-care. And my first response was like, I don't know. That's because my toolbox is packed. My toolbox is really big. And what I've learned is I really follow my intuition. I really ask myself this question, what do I need here and now? And depending on what I need, I follow that. Sometimes is cup of tea through the whole day. And sometimes is loads of other things. But yeah, I found myself, I'm like, okay, I preach self-care and I cannot answer this question.
Yeah. You have a lot of options. It depends
But
on the day that I'm looking at.
that's the thing. It made me realize that yes, it really depends where I am, who I'm talking to, what's happening in my life.
Yeah.
Self-care is a massive, it's like an umbrella
Yeah.
or a treasure box full of
Yes.
things which you can pick up. And the thing is, when you learn to do it, when you befriend yourself, you will do it without thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And it becomes, like you said, your intuition just kicks in and you're like, I think I need this today.
Yeah.
Today I didn't do a weighted workout. I danced instead. And it was 30 minutes and I had fun and I sweat and I was like, oh,
Yes.
this feels good. And tomorrow I may need to pick up some weights. It's listening to your body and what you need
Mm-hmm.
in the moment. Yeah, I definitely agree. So when you're exhausted, how do you, because I feel like we are worst critics, how do you begin to answer the question, like, how can I just be kind to myself today?
No, this is a good one. This is a good one. I came up with this simple method when I was in my healing journey. Stop, listen, act. Stop, really stop. Sit down or lie on the floor, or just make sure that your body can feel something hard.
Yeah.
So this is your grounding point. Listen means ask yourself the question, what do I need here and now? And then act on it.
Yeah.
If your answer was, I'm hungry, I need to eat something, go and eat. If your answer was, I'm tired, I need 5 minutes for myself, go and do it.
Yeah.
Even if you're at work, you can do it. Even if you're in the office, you can do it, because no one can see what's in your head.
Absolutely.
Honestly, people, no one can hear or see what's happening in your head. So there's no chance that you will be discovered.
Yeah. So, in your journey, what limiting beliefs or roadblocks did you have to overcome, maybe, to get you to where you are right now?
The biggest one was understanding that my value is not through my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was brought up in a culture where the more you do for others, the more valued you are.
Yeah.
The better mom, wife, daughter, and so on you are.
Oh, I feel that.
And I think this is a massive thing in Catholic religion as well. I was raised as a Catholic.
Me too.
So, you need to sacrifice yourself for others. That's how you become saint in another world. You know what? I don't want to be saint in another world if I'm going to suffer here.
Exactly.
So that was my turning point. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. I'm not doing it any longer.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, yeah, I could definitely relate to that. I feel like I've just evolved with even my spirituality from that, and yeah, it's so much more about the kindness that we can show ourselves, the kindness that we show others, and to be just good human beings. Like, I think that should be our North Star, should be, I just want to be a kind, good human being that cares for others.
Including myself.
Including myself, yes.
Including
Absolutely.
myself, because I think the star was always there. I want to be kind and helpful and supportive to others, but I was completely dismissing myself.
Yes.
And there is this saying in the Catholic religion, love your neighbor as yourself.
As you do, as you do yourself,
like that. Well, the first part, yes. The second part, not really. Until I realized that, okay, oxygen mask first for me, then the rest of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
I think that was the biggest belief I had to overcome.
Yeah.
Because, it was massive.
I love that. So what daily habits or rituals do you have that helped you reach the level of success where you are right now in your journey?
Oh, you asked me the same question. The other person asked me. I do a lot of things. I honestly do a lot of things. Everything depends on how I am and where I am. But there are a few things which I do, which is I love reading, and I read every day. I'm an introvert, and the social media I really have no interest in that, so I don't scroll my phone.
Yeah.
My phone is there, but even my husband has problems with ringing me. My phone is somewhere there. That's how I unattached I am to my phone. I like creative things, so I crochet or I knit during
Oh,
winter.
that's amazing.
So this is the season.
This is the season for that.
Season for that. In summertime, I do gardening. So
Love it.
I journal. And with journaling, I was finding it really, really difficult because all the journaling prompts were peeling me off, to be honest. Like, think about something.
And then
How
it's a
would you
lot.
feel about it? I'm like, oh my gosh, give me a break. So what I came up, again, simplifying my life, I just open the notebook and I write whatever is on my mind. I call it dumping ground.
I love it.
I do it in the morning because that works for me.
Yeah.
This is my dumping ground, and then I can continue with the day.
Yeah.
And I also have this small tradition with my daughter that in the evening we catch up together, like we have our me time
Yeah.
in her room, and we talk about her day, and we have this gratitude moment again. When I was recovering and I heard, "What are you grateful for?" I'm like, flipping heck. How am I going to answer this question where everything is crap, bleak, and I'm grateful for it? Nothing, to be honest. So
Yeah.
again, I came up with this simple question: what went well and why?
Yes.
Which I simplified for my daughter at that time because she was young. What's the highlight of your day?
Yes.
And this is something we've been doing for ages now, and we still do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did that with my kids too. And I would have them in the mornings before dropping them off at school. We called it the wonderfuls. So I would have them repeat 4 times, something wonderful will happen to me today, so that they start with that conviction. They would tell me 3 things that they were grateful for and 3 I am statements. And so I am kind, I get good grades, whatever, right? And they were little. And then when they would come home, I would say, how was your day? It was good. What was so good about it? And what was a tough moment today? So that they would be able to decipher, this was probably not such a great moment, but I had this moment. And so that they could see that comparison. And I feel like it became this ritual, and we would talk, and that meant that I had good communication with them. And when we are growing up, we see the things that our parents do, and I had amazing parents. However, being from a very Hispanic Catholic family, we don't talk about these feelings, and we don't talk about we keep quiet on different things that are not pleasant to talk about. And
we don't practice uncomfortable. We sweep it
yes,
under the floor.
it's exactly all swept under the rug. And so I wanted that to be one of the things that was completely opposite about how I parented. And so that little ritual brought out conversations with my children that I wouldn't have had with my parents ever. And they can tell me about anything, and I am there to listen and maybe help them navigate through some of those emotions or feelings or situations. But it it just became a really nice ritual so that we can open conversation, because I didn't have that growing up.
Yeah. I think it's really important. It's similar, it was very similar with me, and my daughter is 15 now. And what I can see is actually when I was recovering from my burnout, I wanted to make sure that my daughter is not following my steps. It was very important for me to make sure that my daughter is not going to experience burnout
Yeah.
in her adult life. And I can see now that this is paying off already. Because like I say, she's 15, and for her self-care
Yeah.
is normal, is natural.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
She
So
doesn't feel
liberating.
awkward about it. And you asked me about my habits. I keep forgetting about the precious, more important habit, which is my beloved cup of tea. Honestly, this is so ingrained in my life now that I honestly forget about it. But when I say it at home, when I say time for cuppa or I need a cup of tea, this is a signal for my family that I need me time, I need quiet time,
I
leave
love
me
that.
alone.
I love that so much.
And it works.
That's amazing.
So I have my cup of tea. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 10 minutes. And then I'm ready to face the world.
That's awesome. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Well, this has been amazing. I'm so excited. I'll put on the show notes how people can connect with you. But this has been so awesome. I loved our conversation, and I'm really excited because I know that so many people right now are experiencing with so much happening in the world. I feel like we're easily overstimulated, that burnout is so right there and it's under the surface. So I'm I really appreciate you having this conversation with me.
No, and me too. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your story. This is powerful.
Yeah.
This is really powerful. And
Yeah.
it's really good to hear that you are in a good place now and your children are in a great place from
Yeah.
what I can hear. And you simplified your life as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why I felt so connected. I was like, yes, absolutely. I agree with all those things.
And we are living proof that it's possible. And you
Yes.
can still enjoy your life and you can still work and be there for others
Yeah, absolutely. I love
without
it.
sacrificing yourself.
I love it so much. Well, Karolina, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. Listeners, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And again, I will put all of her information in the show notes, so pay attention to that. Thanks so much for listening. Peace out, guys. Love your life. Bye.